Begin in Myanmar, where thousands of Rohingya Muslims are trying to flee to Bangladesh amid escalating violence. At least 89 people have been killed since Thursday, the day former UN Chief Kofi Annan presented a report on how to stop the violence in Rakhine State. The army has launched what it calls clearance operations after Rohingya fighters attacked more than 20 police and border outposts on Thursday night, killing 12 security personnel. The office of leader Aung San Suu Kyi says 77 Rohingya have died in the subsequent crackdown. Rohingya activists say troops have raided villages, killing people and burning down homes. And an AFP reporter, as well as border officials, say they witnessed the security forces firing at terrified villagers as they fled on Saturday. It's thought as many as 100,000 Rohingyas are now stuck at the border, where Bangladesh is refusing them entry.
One of my sons was lost while crossing the border. We could not tolerate the torture from the Myanmar government. They killed our people. Bodies were lying there. We were helpless there. The government's people burned our houses. They also killed our small children. How can we live there? You have seen on the news media how much torture they are doing to us.
What you can see on the other side of the border, a huge, massive firing is going on. We heard the sound, and due to that effect, you can see a number of Rohingya people. They're coming down along the hills, along the barbed wire fence. They're sitting. You can see right near to the zero line. We do not know exactly what happened on the other side. Well, looks like something wrong is there taking place. So these innocent civilians, especially women and children, they're rushing in numbers.
Well, for more on this, joining us in the studio is Tun Khin. He's president of the Burmese Rohingya Organisation in the UK. Thank you, sir, for joining us on Al Jazeera's News Hour. There's never any good news, is there, for the Rohingya? But this, what's happening now, this escalation of violence, is pretty disturbing.
It's really disturbing. Is situation getting much worse even day by day. Since yesterday, according to our information, we received at least 400 Rohingya civilians killed by Burmese army, and thousands of Rohingya houses been burned down, and at least 40,000 Rohingya become IDPs, and approximately 100,000 Rohingyas are trying to flee from Burma to Bangladesh.
And fleeing under fire. Why is it that you think that the military is firing at innocent civilians? I mean, they say they're firing at militants, of course, but clearly they're firing at large groups of fleeing civilians. Why?
It's been actually decades of persecution Rohingya have been facing in Burma. It's a kind of systematic plan to wipe out, to exterminate the whole Rohingya minority from Burma. It's been going, as I mentioned, many decades, especially currently we are facing the worst situation. You know, the thing is, they want to get rid of the whole minority. According to legal experts, what's mentioned, Rohingyas are facing crime against humanity and genocide.
If that is the case, forgive me, if this is about genocide and getting rid of the entire Rohingya community, why go to the trouble of setting up a government commission? The Myanmar government set up this commission, headed by former UN Chief Kofi Annan, to try to solve the problem. Why bother doing that? That was just a few days ago that he reported.
Actually, we welcome Kofi Annan Commission report, whatever happening. But the thing is, this is a kind of diversion to attention of international community, because international community is raising quite a lot Rohingya issue, but we have not seen effective action. So by doing this, NLD government is a kind of Burmese military, and NLD government a kind of twisting, not to implement this recommendation, the other side by destabilizing the situation of Rakhine State. So unfortunately, we are friendless. International community is not doing enough to protect these people.
Aung San Suu Kyi is the de facto leader in Myanmar now. She's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Why is she not more personally outspoken and engaged in this problem with the Rohingya, do you think?
Unfortunately, yes. She's not speaking enough. Even she is siding with Burmese military, where Burmese military perpetrated crime against humanity, to the Rohingya people since last October 2016. And same time, you know, we need to see international community is also listening to Aung San Suu Kyi. So I want to point out here what Rohingyas are facing today is emergency crisis, where thousands of Rohingyas are, you know, mass killings may happen in a few days' time, the way military is doing operation. So this is emergency crisis. We need international community intervention. UN intervention is the only way to protect. What's happening now, the UN and other international community have to take immediate action. UN Security Council should discuss the issue, what's happening now against Rohingya by the militaries, and also, you know, otherwise it's going to be international community will be a kind of a big failure. Okay. So there is a kind of mass murder, you know, military will do, because same thing we have seen last October 2016. So the way what we are receiving from the ground is seriously worsening situation. Okay. Unless if international community will not do, it's going to be a big mistake. Okay. So we need urgent intervention to protect the lives of innocent Rohingya people, where 1.3 million Rohingyas are facing genocide. Okay. So whenever genocide happens, international communities say, okay, it will not happen again. Now, it is happening now, western part of Burma in Arkhana state. So we need urgent intervention from UN Security Council. Okay. Responsibility to protect lives of international community. Burmese government will not do anything again.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Tun Khin, thank you so much, President of the Burmese Rohingya.